طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending the salutations upon the Messenger alayhi salatu salam and upon his family, his companions, and upon all those who follow upon his guidance into the establishment of the last day. To proceed, ikhwan, Allahumma inna na'udhu bika min ilmin la yanfa' wa min qalbin la yakhsha' wa min nafsin la tashba' wa min du'a'in la yusma'. Verily, Ya Allah, we seek refuge with you from knowledge that has no benefit, and from a heart that has no fear, and from a soul that has no satisfaction nor contentment, and from a dua that goes unanswered. To proceed, يا إخوان، فنرحب بكم جميعا إلى هذه السلسلة العلمية في علم اللغة. So we welcome each and every one of you to this series of classes, whereas we're learning today from the science of the Arabic language. ولأصحاب الكتب, for those that have the book, بحمد الله وصلنا إلى صفحة 75 ولا نزال فيها. So we have arrived at page number 75. And we're still there. والحمد لله رب العالمين. طيب عندنا بعض الكلمات الجديدة. So we have some new words. والحمد لله. We have some new words. طيب, from these words, العقد. We have العقد, the contract. العقد. Can also be an agreement. العقد. It can also be linguistically a marriage. The word النكاح في اللغة العقد. The word marriage in the Arabic language means a contract. طيب, وعندنا أيضا كلمة مفاتيح. We also have the word مفاتيح. ومفاتيح جمع مفتاح. We also have the word مفاتيح. مفاتيح is the plural of the word مفتاح. مفاتيح, keys or tools that are used to open something. Tools that are used to open something. Are called the miftah. الطلاء. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. كيف أنت يا شيخ؟ Okay. I gotta get your devices back up. I gotta help you get your devices back up.
I had to factory restart my iPad.
Okay.
The app store it's not connected. So I
No.
can't re-download none of the apps. So I'm stuck with that. Uh,
You can also,
frustrating.
instead of the app, you can go to like the browser too, I believe. If you don't have the free conference app, you can just, I would say, try to restart your iPad again, and then you could probably go to the browser too. They could do it on the web browser instead of the app itself. You could just, go to the browser, like www free conference call. You could try that
Right.
also. طيب وأيضا يا إخوان تعلمنا كلمة أثاث. We also learned the word أثاث. الأثاث. This should be همزة. الأثاث. No. الأثاث. Furniture. الأثاث. Furniture. وأيضا كلمة محكمة. We also have the word محكمة. We'll give you a few words here, إخوان. The word of the book is محكمة. محكمة. محكمة could be a courthouse. No. محكمة. طيب, the word also يا إخوانا benefit. The word محكم. محكم. محكم from أحكمة can also be أتقن. That which is accurate and precise. You say, for example, مثلا محكما. محكم. Meaning it was done well, accurately, with precision. محكم. You can say محكم. You can also say مضبوط. 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 It was done with precision, accuracy. So you can say محكم. You can also say مضبوط. مضبوط. Say it. Your voice was kind of muffled. Say it again, Sheikh.
If you remove the two meanings, what become
Wouldn't it become a what? A hakama?
Yeah, remove the two meanings.
Yeah, if you take the meme away, yes, you could definitely. It will be a different word. Hakim. If you say have the word hakim, the judge. Nah, you could say that. Nah, they have the same origin. A word can come from, can have the same asl, the same origin, and many words can be derived from it. You can also say mutqinun. Mutqinun. Someone that is very precise. They barely make a mistake. For example, you would say, "Oh, huwa mutqinun." Mutqinun. He is very precise, accurate in his memorization. You barely hear the sheikh make a mistake. Barely. So you can say muhkamun, madbutun, and mutqinun. We're going to pit. You can say correct, accurate, can also be perfect. We don't mean here the thing is perfect itself. Say if you have a test, 10 questions, and you get all 10 right, you can call that a perfect score. So you can say mutqinun. This one is mutqin. Muhkamun, matbutun. They barely get it wrong. For example, mutqinun, you can also say precise. This one is, he has precision. Dabita. Muhkamun. This one is accurate. When he learns something, mashallah, he has it. When he recites it back, he is matbut. He is precise when he recites it. You know. And that's how you want to memorize something, ya ikhwan. A lot of times we're learning something, وَنُخْطِئُ فِي الْحِفْظِ فَمَا عِنْدَنَا الْإِتْقَانِ. Sometimes when we're trying to memorize something, we're making mistakes while we're trying to memorize it. If we don't perfect that, we're not going to have accuracy. Every time we recite it, we're going to make that same mistake because we didn't get past that mistake yet. That happens a lot. When I recite some surah, the mistake, I make the same mistake on the page every time. For example, I have to get past this era. I have to recite it and memorize it with perfection. So you have to. Sometimes it's harder when you make a mistake to go back and correct it because you have to get rid of that mistake and then almost memorize it again. No. Sometimes we make a mistake, we just keep on going. Then it's never going to leave you. Every time you get to that verse, you're going to make that same mistake. No. طيب نبدأ يا إخوان. Let's begin إن شاء الله تعالى. طيب في التعليق, in our commentary, توقفنا. Where did we stop يا إخوان? I don't think we read yesterday or the other day with everyone. We stopped at Abdullah's speech. طيب, so Sheikh Zahid can be Abdullah. Sheikh Nakir, you can be the Sahibul Maktab, and I'll be Uthman. Sheikh Zahid, you be Abdullah. Sheikh Nakir, you be Sahibul Maktab, and I'll be Abdullah. No. Right, we're going to start here, inshallah. No, we didn't get this far, did we, Ikhwan? No, we got here. Alhamdulillah. طيب, further Sheikh Zahid. Okay. طيب, let's read that sentence again, inshallah. طيب, Sheikh Nakir, you be the Sahibul Maktab. Sheikh Zahid, you be Abdullah, and I'll be Uthman.
My phone comes.
لا بأس.
إذا صدقتكما هذه شقة نذهب إذا finished on right there on the page, and then at the next page,
76. طيب, لا بأس. Makes sense. Let's read this last sentence here. They go into each other. Read the Abdullah, read the last sentence at the bottom of the page, going into the top of 76. أدوات ضرورية. So now Abdullah, he recited, let us go, or we shall go with you now in order to complete the process of the contract, because I want to buy furniture and tools of the kitchen, the necessity or the essential tools of the kitchen, the utensils of the kitchen. طيب الآن يا إخوان عندنا بعض الكلمات الجديدة. So we have some new words here we can benefit from والحمد لله. طيب أولا اكتبوا هذه الكلمة. Firstly, let's write this word down يا إخوان. سنذهب معك الآن. طيب now here he says سنذهب معك الآن. طيب so he's saying here we shall. The scene here is a حرف الاستقبال. The scene is a particle of the future. So we're going to write the scene here حرف الاستقبال. The scene, you're going to write حرف الاستقبال. الاستقبال, a particle of the future. It shows that we're about to do something. حرف الاستقبال. حرف استقبال, a particle of the future. Let me put a سكون here. Should be a سكون here يا اخوان. طيب not let me. طيب particle of the future. Particle of the future. حرف الاستقبال. So it says, we shall go with you now. طيب هذا السين, the scene here لا تقع إلا على المضارع. We're going to give you a grammatical point. أريدكم حفظه أو حفظها. I want you to try to memorize this point يا إخوان. This scene, you're going to write لا تقع إلا على المضارع. إلا على المضارع. This scene does not come except on the present tense verb. It's not going to come on a past tense verb. Never. So you're going to write لا تقع إلا على المضارع. It only falls on a past tense. It only falls on a present tense verb. That's it. So you're going to write does not fall except on the present tense. Let's keep the term on the مضارع. مضارع. Present tense verb. You're not going to see this scene on the past tense verb. لا. لا تقع إلا على المضارع. It only falls on the past tense verb. That's it. وحروف الاستقبال أو المستقبل حرفان. And there are two letters that fall on the مضارع that point to the future. There are two letters that fall on the مضارع that point to the future. Only two. Sin wa sofa. Sin wa sofa. Right? There are two letters. We're going to write the next benefit. There are two letters of the mustaqbal. وهما حرفان. And they are two letters. Sin and sofa. وهما حرفان. They are two letters. Sin وسوف. The sin and sofa. عفوا. There are two letters. The sin and sofa. So والمعنى سواء في أحدهما أو في كليهما. The meaning is the same in both of them. They point to the future. لكن سين أقرب من سوف. Now the only difference is that one is closer in time. المعنى السواء. The meaning is the same. They point to the future. But one points to a closer future, if I can say that. A more near future. One is a closer future. One is a farther away future, a more distant future. So we're going to write المعنى السواء. The meaning is the same. المعنى سواء. The meaning is the same. They have the same meaning. What do they mean? يدل على المستقبل. They point to the future. Same meaning. سواء. The meaning is the same. نفس المعنى. نفس المعنى. Same meaning. Some Muslims, some students, they think the meaning is different. No, يا أخي. نفس المعنى. Same meaning. الفرق بينهما الوقت. The difference between the two is the time. Same meaning. The only difference is the time. That's it. Right? We're going to write الفرق بينهما الوقت. The only difference between the two, يا إخوان, is the time period, not the meaning. So I want you brothers to understand that, and you sisters to understand that. الفرق بينهما الوقت. So we broke it down into three parts so far. Let's go back. طيب, the scene, we said حرف الاستقبال. It's a particle of the future. First benefit. لا تقع إلا على المضارع. It only falls on the present tense verb. A. لا تقع على الماضي. You're not going to find it in the past tense. Never. It doesn't exist in no example. Not one. التي بعدها. Next principle. وهما حرفان. And there are two letters of the future. Two letters of the future. سين وسوف. Next benefit. المعنى سواء. The meaning is the same. Last benefit. الفرق بينهما الوقت. The difference between them is only one. The time period. That's it. من يكرر? Who can repeat? Who can repeat the benefits? MashaAllah. First benefit, it only comes upon a present tense verb. Benefit number 2. The particles of the future, they are 2. What are they? Seen and sofa. Benefit number 3. The meaning is the same. MashaAllah. Last benefit. The difference between the two is the time. خلاص, that's it. طيب, معنى ذلك, the meaning of the time, عندنا سين وسوف. We have seen and we have سوف. طيب, write this down يا إخوان. سين and سوف. طيب, أعطيكم نفس الجملة. I'm going to give you the same exact sentence. أقول, let's say for example, so we have seen and سوف. طيب, سأذهب إلى المسجد إن شاء الله. إلى المسجد إن شاء همزة إن شاء الله. طيب, من يترجم? Who can translate? سأذهب إلى المسجد إن شاء الله. Hey, I will go to the masjid, to the mosque, if Allah wills, or if it's the will of Allah. طيب. Number 2, نفس الجملة. نفس الجملة, same exact sentence. إلا لشيء واحد, except one thing we're going to change. نبدل سين لسوف. We're going to change the scene to سوف. سوف أذهب إلى المسجد إن شاء الله. نفس الجملة, same sentence. We changed بدلنا سين لسوف. We changed سين for سوف. سوف أذهب إلى المسجد إن شاء الله. طيب, عندنا سين وسوف. So we have سين and سوف. طيب, الفرق بينهما الوقت. The only difference between the two is the time. الله أعلم الوقت. الله يعلم الوقت. Only Allah knows the exact time. It's not nothing precise. It's ليس متقنا, ليس محكما, ليس مضبوطا. It's not an accurate, specific, precise time. No. It's up in the air. But what you're saying with seen is that I'm going to go in the near future. That's it. Maybe the next hour, next half hour. With sofa is more the distant future. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe 2 hours down the road is the distant future. Seen أقرب وقت. Seen is closer in time. Sofa is a little more far in time. That's the only difference. What's wrong يا أخي? That's the only difference يا إخوان. نعم تفضل. Sofa is not a dhamir. They're both particles, harf. They're not nouns. So you wouldn't call them dhamir, you would call them harf, particles. Dhamir, kullu dhamair ism. A pronoun is a noun. So here they will be harf, particles. No. طيب. Now he says لننهي إجراءات. A new word we have أنهى. أنهى. I don't think we have this verb yet. أنهى. To finish. أنهى. To complete. In the madari, ينهي. ينهي. To end. Also to finish. To finish. Not to be finished. To finish something. We go see the sheikh, inshallah. مثلا, someone arrives late. They say, هل الشيخ مستمر? Is the sheikh still going? And someone says, ينهي الشيخ محاضرته. The sheikh, he finished his class. He finished the lecture. أنهى, to finish. ينهي, to finish, to complete. طيب. إجراءات or إجراءات العقد. So he says here, now the beauty here, ya ikhwan, we mention this every time we come across a sentence like this in this book here. He uses, no, لا بأس, we'll say that for later benefit. طيب. إجراءات. إجراءات is a process. إجراءات. Steps or processes. Say it has process, it has steps, not just one step. So إجراءات. إجراءات. Steps. Not steps like you're going up a ladder, like steps in a process, a sequence. أنت تريد مثلا أن تسافر إلى اليمن, إلى السعودية, إلى الإفريقة. You want to go to Yemen or Saudi Arabia or Africa or any of the abroad lands. عليك بإجراءات السفر. You have to do the process of traveling, the steps. عليك بالمال, you need money. عليك بالصحة, you have to have a certain type of health. عليك بتأشيرة الخروج, you need a visa. وتأشيرة الدخول, you need an entry visa and an exit visa. You have to get permission to leave your country. You have to get another permission to enter someone else's country. These are called إجراءات, process. So he says إجراءاتي لننهي أو لننهي إجراءات العقد. So he says, in order for us to finish the process, the steps of the contract. لننهي إجراء, this should be Hamza. إجراءات العقد. In order for us to finish the steps of the contract. The إجراءات, it has steps. You have to do A, and then B, and then C, Alif, Ba, and Ta. There are steps. So he says, for us to complete the steps of the contract. لأنني أريد أن أشتري أثاثا. So we have a new sentence here. Because I want to buy. لأنني أريد أن أشتري الأثاث وأدوات نعم المطبخ الضرورية. So it says, because I want to purchase furniture for the apartment and the utensils, the necessary utensils of the kitchen. It says, لأنني أريد أن أشتري الأثاث وأدوات المطبخ الضرورية. It says, because I want to buy. لأنني أريد أن أشتري. Because I want to buy furniture. And أدوات المطبخ. And the utensils of the kitchen, the things I'm in need of, the necessary utensils, tools for the kitchen, the instruments, the utensils. And أشتري الأثاث. أثاث is furniture. So we'll chop this first part down here, Juan, to make it easy. It says, because I desire to buy furniture. We mentioned a benefit before, ya Ikhwan. Here you can say لأني and you can say لأنني two ways. Because I. لأني and you can say لأنني. لأني. You can also say لأنني. Same meaning. Because I. لأني and لأنني. You may hear the second one more. Wallah. Because I. لأنني, because I want to buy الأثاث, furniture. He says, طيب. Next part. وأدواتي. Now we mentioned here, Ikhwan, grammatically, He could be saying two things here. He says, أريد أن أشتري الأثاث وأدوات المطبخ ضرورية. Now he could be saying one of two things. He could be saying, I want to buy necessary furniture and necessary kitchen utensils. That's one way. This ضرورية could go back. This ضرورية could go back to both. It could go back to the furniture, and it could go back to the utensils. It could be a sifa of both. And grammatically, that would make sense. Even in logic, you have some furniture that's a need. You need a bed, you need a cover. And then you have some utensils that you need. You need a pot, you need a pan. So, ضرورية could go back to furniture. But the second way is more honorable. That it goes back to utensils of the kitchen. So he's saying, I want to buy furniture and necessary kitchen utensils. That will be the strongest, the more understood. Wallahu alam. So here we're going to write the necessary is going to go back to utensils. And I want to buy necessary kitchen utensils. So our new word, we're going to write adatun. Adatun. The plural, adawatun. Adawatun. Adatun is a tool, an instrument. Any type of tool can be adatun. Any type of tool. Adatun is plural. Adawatun. We're going to write tools. A tool. You say مثلا العربية أداة الفهم ليس الغاية. Arabic, learning Arabic is a tool, an instrument of gaining understanding. It's not the goal. Just because you learn Arabic doesn't mean you're going to understand the Quran and Sunnah correctly. But it's a tool that helps you understand it. Your car is an adatun lil wusul, is an instrument that helps you get somewhere. Instrument, a tool, an instrument. Your car, the goal is that you get to Walmart to go shopping. How you get there is a adatun, is a tool, the means, the instrument. Whatever you use to get there is a adatun. You're eating the food. Eating the food is the goal. What you're using to eat the food with is adatun, a tool or instrument, your utensil or your hand or whatever you use. No. You can also call it a wasila, a means. It's not the goal. It's the thing helping you reach the goal. One of the brothers asked this week of a madhab. He said, it seems like you're Shafi'i or Hanbali, he says. He said, we love all the great scholars of Al-Islam. We may quote from a Shafi'i and Ahmed more, but I don't follow any madhab. He says, why not? I said, why do I have to? You can follow the madahib are just a means to help you get to understanding the text. It's not the goal. The goal is understanding the text, the Quran and Sunnah correctly upon the way of the Salaf. How you understand that, how you reach that goal may differ from person to person, country to country, race to race. Like seeking knowledge, there are many methods to memorizing. How do you guys memorize? Sometimes we write the ayat out. You're memorizing the Quran. Let's write the verse. Kitabatu al-ayah. Let's write the verse out. Al-ayah. Right? Kitabatu al-ayah. You may write the verse by writing the verse. Let's write the verse 100 times. One of my favorite ways to learn is by writing. I have to write it out. I can't really listen and learn it. I have to write it. Another way may be istima'ul ayah, by listening to the verse. Some people can't write it out. They have to listen. Istima'u al-ayah. That's. The method may differ. Some people are visual. No problem. It's not about the method. Istima'u al-ayah. Some people have to listen to the verse. No problem. It's not about, sometimes we argue over the means. No, ya ikhwan. This brother writes it out. That sister has to hear it. So she has to put on her audio and she has to say it over and over and over. Alhamdulillah. The goal is that it's memorized. No problem. Every student is going to have a different method. My method, I have to write it. I write the hadith over and over and over and over. I write the poetry over and over. I write the ayat over and over. I write the word over and over. That's my method. I take it back to grade school. I learned that in kindergarten. Overseas, the kids, I re-saw that in the Muslim community. They write it out. And if they don't have a notebook, they have a loha, that board. And they write the verse 25 times. And then they erase it. And they write it again 25 times. And then they erase it. We did that in grade school, mashallah. So I went back to that method. That helps me. Someone else, they have to listen to the ayat over and over. So they play it. They recites it. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Again, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Again, وَالْعَصْرِ. And then 100 times, he has it. Everyone is different. So we shouldn't argue and go to blows over how you memorize. No, the goal is that it's memorized. That's the goal. The minhajiyya, your methodology of how to memorize, is going to differ from person to person. That's why when the scholars give advice, what books do you recommend, Sheikh? If you notice, every scholar's advice is going to be different. Sheikh Muqbil has books he recommends to the beginner. Sheikh Uthaymeen has books he recommends to the beginner. Sheikh Albani has books he recommends to the beginner. Sheikh Abdul Karim Al-Khudayr has books he recommends for the beginner. Sheikh Abdul Mursin has books he recommends for the beginner. Sheikh Salam, Sheikh Yahya, all of our beloved mashaykh, they differ on the books I recommend you. No problem. That's this sheikh's opinion. That's that sheikh's opinion. No problem. But the Westerner, we take the scholar's words out of context. And if a sheikh says it, it becomes like Quran and Sunnah. And that's a mistake. That's a mistake, ya ikhwan. We have to keep the peoples upon their level. We keep the prophets and messengers on their level. We don't raise them to be angels. We keep the scholars on their levels. We don't raise them to the prophets and messengers. We keep the students of knowledge on their levels. We don't raise them to the scholars. We keep the caller on his level. We don't raise him to the students. And we keep the layman on their level. We don't raise them to the caller. Everyone has a level. Not every caller is a student of knowledge. Some callers, he just does jumu'ah. He's a khatib. He's not a student of knowledge. Two different levels. And this one is a layman. That's most of us, laymen. Most of the arguments you see online, we shouldn't have them. We shouldn't go to Facebook and Instagram for fatwa. That's number one. A layman is going to do that. Hey, Facebook, what's the ruling on this and this and this and this? A student of knowledge, that's not going to be his approach, ever. You see the sisters many times. They go online, hey, what's the ruling on this? And then you see a whole big argument come. Of course the argument is going to come. It's social media. And then most of the people start the arguments, they leave. I had a brother like that. He starts a fight online, and then you don't see him in the comments at all. He starts the fight and then leaves. And then so if I do a class right now and I give it a title as if I'm about to talk about somebody, we're going to have 300 people watching. You do a class from Quran and Sunnah, you're going to have the same 10 people watching. It's social media, ikhwan. طيب. So let's get back to the point, ya ikhwan, to the lesson. تفضل يا شيخ. The gym here, our brother's asking, what's the gym here? This is my little gym for shorthand. This is my shorthand for jam', plural. So on my notes, if I have a one word and then you see me write this gym, this just means the next word is the plural. طيب. Let's do one more sentence, ya ikhwan. Our sister Carol, she says, Assalamu alaikum. I'm in class, but I'm driving. MashaAllah. May Allah bless you, Sister Carol. One of our strongest students we ever had, Sister Carol, MashaAllah. May Allah bless you and raise you and increase you upon knowledge. Sister Carol has a love for Arabic, ya ikhwan. I've been studying Arabic for years, MashaAllah ta'ala. It's an honor to help her and all of you, ya ikhwan. It's always an honor to help and remind someone of Allah and His Messenger. That's a blessing, ya ikhwan. Alhamdulillah. طيب. Let's continue, ya ikhwan. Whose turn? Sahibul Maktab.
لدينا محل
نعم.
لبيع الأثاث المنزلي
منزلي
منزلي وبجواره محلة
Good.
للأدوات منزلية.
Ahsant. طيب. So the Sahibul Maktab, the manager of the office or the owner of the office, he says, لدينا, we have محل لبيع الأثاث المنزلي. We have a place for buying home furniture. Let's write this down, ikhwan. We have a place. He's a businessman. Either that other place belongs to him also. His business. He sells shoes. Oh, you need shoes? I got a place for sneakers too. Oh, you need a shirt? I got a clothing store too. Like, he's a businessman, it sounds like. Or he's just letting him know in the area. So he says, Ladaina, we have. It looks like it's theirs. We have mahallun libay'i الأثاث المنزلي. المنزلي. So he says, we have محل, a place, لبيع الأثاث المنزلي. We have a place. It could be a shop, it could be a store. محل. Mahal can be a shop, it could be a store. We have a place, we have a shop for buying home furniture. الأثاث المنزلي, home furniture. Athath is just furniture. When you add a sifa to it, an adjective, manzili, home, al-athath al-manziliyu, home furniture. Al-athath al-manzili. You can have office furniture, you can have school furniture, you can have home furniture. Not every furniture is the same, or not all furniture is the same. Al-athathu al-manziliyu, home furniture. Home furniture. You can have office furniture. Al-athath al-maktabi. You can have al-athath al-madrusi. You can have different types of furniture. You can have masjid furniture. Al-athath al-masjidi. Masjid furniture. Maybe it's going to be carpet, maybe a few chairs, some desks, maybe some Quran desks. No. طيب. Another benefit يا إخوان. I don't think I meant لا أظن ذكرت لكم هذه الفائدة. I don't think I mentioned this benefit here. The word athath is singular. Furniture here is not the plural. It's the singular. Al-athathu. The word is singular. It should be hamza. No. Al-athathu. The plural, the jeen is my plural, my word for plural. The plural you're going to write al-athathatun. Al-athathatu. If you make a nakira. Where's my alif? Al-athathatu. 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 So one is furniture in general, but it's not understood to be the plural, just furniture. And then the other can be, in English, I don't know if you can say furnitures in English, but in Arabic you can. Someone can check that, yeah. In English you can't say waters, but in Arabic you can. In English you can't say furnitures, but in Arabic you can. Different languages, the rules are different. So athath is understood to be furniture in general, but you're not talking about the plural. No. Then he says, Sheikh Nakir recited, وَبِجِوَارِهِ, and on the side of it, meaning next door to it. وَبِجِوَارِهِ. Now here you can say this one of two ways. With the ba, وَبِجِوَارِهِ, or you can say jiwarihi, without the ba. Same meaning. You can say wabi jiwari al-masjid, and on the side of the masjid, or you can say wajawar al-masjid, and on the side of the masjid. Wabi jiwarihi, or you can say jawarahu, on the side of it. Bijiwarihi, so we'll say on the side of it, and this one will be take the on away, the side of it, and this will be on the side of it. You could say side, and it can also be next to. So you can say this phrase with the ba or without the ba. You can say bijiwari al-masjid, on the side of the masjid, or you can say jiwar al-masjid, the side of the masjid, without the ba. وبجواره محلات للأدوات المنزلية, and on the side of it, next door to it, are shops that have home utensils. وبجواره محلات للأدوات المنزلية. So we'll stop with this sentence here, Ikhwan. He says, وبجواره محلات للأدوات المنزلية. And you can say on, or you can say to the side of it are shops for home utensils. Utensils are not like furniture. They may be things that you need to use. And the furniture are things that you kind of reside on, you sit on, you recline on. No. So today we stopped at the speech of Uthman. For homework, I want you to read the article or the passage, the hiwar, and I want you to give us 5 verbs and 5 verbs and 5 nouns and 5 particles. For homework, I want you to, you're going to read the dialogue again. I want you to write 5 particles. And I want you to write 5 nouns. And I want you to write 5 verbs. There's not a lot of verbs in Juan. They have 5. 5 verbs, 5 nouns, and 5 particles. So you're going to write your paper. You're going to pick particles, nouns, verbs. And then list 5 particles, 5 nouns, 5 verbs. That's tonight's homework, inshallah. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And may Allah bless you all, ya ikhwan. طيب نكتفي بهذا. We'll stop there. وسبحان